Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Lumberjack Landlord here. Exciting morning this morning. As you guys have seen, the major announcement, scariest project ever. Didn't know any other way of putting it because it's the scariest project ever. Just from a mindset perspective, I always want to push myself. I always want to get better. In the real estate investing career, there's people that only do it for money. And there's people that also do it for money and for purpose, and not so much purpose like, you know, righteous purpose. It's just they want to do something that will impact, and I think for us, we like doing these types of projects. We like doing the ones where we can do something affordable, something attainable. Certainly we have stuff that is entry level. And then we have all the way up to, oh my word, this place is the most amazing place I've ever lived in. And so we really kind of cover the spectrum. That's our level of diversification, I guess. But, as you continue to push yourself through your investing career, just kind of like what I put in the post, as you push yourself in your investing career, the idea is that you continue to grow, get better, learn, learn new hacks, learn new processes, meet new people, network being net worth. In all honesty, I don't know if I could have done this project, 15 years ago. Definitely not 20 years ago, probably not 15, probably not 10. Maybe 5 years ago, I could have done a project like this, but that's what makes this project so exciting is, in all honesty, I'm just looking at some of the numbers and I'm squaring things out and putting together budgets. And it's crazy scary. The other thing too is that, too often people are playing the short game, and the short game can be, getting instant appreciation on an asset. It can be, well, what's it going to be worth next year? And even, hey, I'm looking in MLS and that's how I found it. All of those things are acceptable. Those are all good ways to invest. From the perspective of going in MLS and finding it that way. What you'll find is as you get further in your real estate career, it depends on how big you want it to be. Starting to buy from wholesalers, starting to buy for foreclosure sales, starting to buy off market because you have such an amazing network that you're getting opportunities at things before they hit the market. Heaven forbid, crazy things like door knocking or reaching out to specific owners of specific assets in your market, trying to market to them, trying to buy an asset. All of those things are all ways that I've bought property. What was interesting is that, 2 years ago or so, maybe 3 years ago, I started looking at assets that towns might own. I had stumbled on one maybe 10 or 12 years ago and I bought it. And it was a tax foreclosure. The city had foreclosed on the house because of back taxes. And so I remember just being blown away at how little the building I was able to purchase it for. I was able to purchase it. It was a 3-bed, 2-bath house in an area where a typical 3-bed, 2-bath house was worth about $200K. And I bought this for, I bought it for 40. So, and I put 70 into it, rehabbing it. But even at those numbers, I was way, 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 way ahead of market. And knew I could make a great profit, but more importantly, could take something that was a dead asset, not lived in for years, and turn it into something that was now again available housing. So it's not just affordable, it's also available. So, and looking at, in that process, I'd had my eye on this particular property, and thank God, that my broker is as awesome as he is, because it failed selling through the city. It failed doing that. And what was really interesting is it failed selling through the city. They then gave it to a broker. The broker listed it and put it in an area where it wasn't like broadly viewed. And so my broker saw it and said, hey, listen, I checked this out. And I saw it and I was like, oh my word, it's live. They're trying to sell it actively. thankfully we got in there with the list of other prospective investors. We got in there in the first couple of days, we put an offer together, and it took a few months of public meetings. It took a few months of, working with the city. But they accepted the offer, and that was just working through the process to actually get the asset purchased. But surprised and excited to say that we closed on that asset this last week. It is a police station jail. So it doubled as both. And we're super excited about the opportunities that this project is going to be able to bring us to grow as investors, and also for what we're going to be able to do to impact the city. So often these buildings are nuisances to the cities, right? They're not generating tax revenue. There's something else that DPW and Department of Public Works and that the cities then have to manage and take care of. They have to make sure that they're secure. They have to make sure that they're doing landscaping around it. They have to make sure that there's, been no break-ins. And we all know that as these types of assets sit there, they only get less and less valuable in most cases, not because of what the market's doing, but because they're deteriorating. Unused things like this, like plumbing and such, they start to go down in price because it's longer. Like heating systems don't do well sitting there not being run. The gaskets in between the sections of the boilers usually will dry out. And then guess what? Then that leaks, and sometimes you can replace it and sometimes you can't. And if you can't, then it's for something that's big, it might be a $15 or $20 or $30,000 swap. So I wanted to share this experience with you guys. I know that there will be ups and downs because it's real estate investing. It's all how you handle those ups and downs though. And so I just wanted to kind of walk you guys through the project and show it to you, because we're starting off with truly a blank canvas. But I'm going to share this now and see how this will work. Hopefully it works well. But as you can imagine, sometimes we have a little bit difficulties with the Google machine. But we will walk you guys through this thing, show you what it actually looks like. I came up with a really cool code name for this project. And I bet you guys will never guess it. But we call this Operation Jail Project. I know, throwing you guys for a loop. So let's jump in. I'll actually show you guys what this thing looks like. Let's see. I just need to make sure that I got other stuff shut off first. Okay, we're good. We good? We're good. We're good? Yeah, we're good. Okay, we're good. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Matt, you look so refreshed this morning. Frank, I'm dying. We had a great boot camp last night. Frank is one of the great guys in the boot camp. Had a new student last night join the boot camp as well. We had a fantastic boot camp, total blast, but we went for 3 hours and I am tapped. I am fried. But we do Sunday morning breakfast with my kids, where we go out and we do something special, and spent some time hanging out this morning, but I'm glad you think I look refreshed because I don't feel it. But let's jump in. Let's show you guys what this thing looks like. Let's see here. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Hold on. Here's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Yes, that's what I want to do. Perfect. Okay, cool. Now I think I got this. I got this the way I want this. Yep. We good? Yes. Good. Yep. Good. Perfect. All right. Now you guys can see this thing on your screen. And we are going to just do basically essentially, oh, you know what? I knew it. I knew that would happen. Give me just 1 second here. I'm going to pause the share. Let's see here. I knew that would happen too. Stop share. Boop. Now we're going to be able to do this the right way. Here we go. Now we can do it the right way. There we go. Happened last time I did that too. Apparently I couldn't learn that lesson. So this is the jail. This is it in all its glory. There we go. So you look at this project and it is a downtown project, obviously, but it's the entire building. The building's about 8,000, maybe 9,000 square feet. This was actually a retail space that was converted into a police station. So what's really interesting is that in the this was built in the 40s, which makes it downright brandy new for the type of asset that it is. And these used to be retail spaces. So what's really interesting is when they put these things in the 60s, this is all cinder block with these special hard edge, sharp edged pieces because they took out all the windows, because obviously having big, huge windows in a police station isn't the best of ideas, especially when the main drag is right here. Because, you know, I don't know, maybe you're looking for a Terminator 1 type of scenario. But these big things right here, what's really interesting is that this is all, you know, concrete brick, but they insulated it with something called vermiculite. And vermiculite is a form of asbestos. And so just to remove these sections, these 3 sections, is going to cost right around $20,000. Now, going to the project, I knew that it existed. They had already done $150,000 of remediation in this project. And so they'd already gotten a huge start. They've done all the stuff on the inside, so I don't have to worry about lead or asbestos or any of that stuff. This is kind of the last piece. But what's really neat is, again, it's pretty easy to picture in your mind exactly what this thing is going to look like. Why? Because there's going to be big, huge display windows right here. Now, this is going to be residential right on top of here. And then we're going to try and get something approved, again, in partnership with the city. No financial partnership, just partnership of they're the city and want great things in the city. I want, as an investor in the city, I want great things to happen. And so what can be our best use of space? So what you'll see here is the front of the building. And again, I expect this to be retail. I expect this to be retail. What we're going to do with this space over here is we very often hear people talk about, or cities talk about, or politicians talk about, we really need to do something about the housing crisis. And we need to help our veterans. And we need to help, you know, those that are physically challenged and need, you know, a more unique unit applicable to what, you know, what they deal with, which is mobility in many cases. And so the interesting thing was, I essentially brought it up to the city and said, I think we could do something really special here. And they said, what's that? And I said, I think we should do ADA housing. The reason why is if you look at all these things, all this building has going for it, you have a handicap space here, a handicap space here. You've got a great down ramp here. These don't freeze in the wintertime because those are metal. And so those are purposefully put in so you don't have to clear ice from them. So this is a phenomenal building to be able to give to people their lives back that need or want mobility. But quite frankly, it's so hard to find something that will put you right on a sidewalk, that will put you right next to handicap parking, that will put you right next to, literally down the street, just 1 block over, is where the public transportation picks people up and drops them off. This could not be more perfect of a use if you tried. It's an absolutely flawless use. So that's the expectation that we would have. There's the old fire escape right here. But we would be removing all these pieces, replacing that to glass. And then this is actually the parking lot out back. So this parking lot out back is phenomenal as far as the amount of space that one would need. Give me just 1 second here. Okay. But this space is fantastic. So this will give us all the parking that we need for all of the residents here. And what we'll do is we'll actually convert what used to be detectives' offices and also the general workforce's office upstairs. We'll actually convert all of that to 2-bedroom units. Give me just 1 second. So in looking at this project, it's just teeming with possibilities. It's right in a downtown area. You've got plenty of parking here, but you've got tons of off-street parking here as well. So this was actually one of the delays in the project. This land was actually originally going to be held back by the city. And when we talked about it, I said, if we get this land, it will give us a phenomenal opportunity to put picnic tables out here. So with what we're going to do in this building, we are actually going to, one of the things that we're going to do is we looked at what the community really needs. Being an investor in this community, I know what the community needs. You know, we need a great coffee shop. We need a great eatery. We need an indoor playland area. You guys saw in my trip to Vegas, we went to 14 different playlands or indoor playgrounds. We went to 14 of them. But this is right in the heart of our downtown area. And so it's a phenomenal spot. Literally, in fact, I think this next picture, nope, the next one. So this is Town Hall right here. This is the Town Hall. This is the post office, bank, library. It's a phenomenal location. And this right here is the river that splits New Hampshire and Maine. So we can really pull off of multiple communities. This can be a resource for multiple of them to actually have a place to bring their kids in the wintertime when it's Siberia, like Dion says, and it's 0 degrees outside and they don't have anything that they can go do and they're stuck and cooped up in apartments. We're going to put an amazing playland area. See this arrow right here? We're going to put this playland area, and that space alone is about 3,000 square feet. Tall ceilings. And so we're going to be able to put all sorts of indoor gym equipment in there for kids, where they can, you know, run up and down the cargo nets and on climbing walls and all that fun stuff. But it really is a beautiful area. I couldn't be more excited to be doing this project, and really thrilled that we got this opportunity. So special thanks to the city of Somersworth, and special thanks to my brokering team, Jay Archer, and also the listing broker, Heather Kretschmeyer. She was fantastic to work with. So let's jump into the actual project itself. On the inside, this is all the original building. What's really interesting, and you'll see these here if you're into construction at all, these are actually I-beams. So this gives us a whole lot more flexibility on what we can do above this structure, because it's so unbelievably supported. What's really amazing about this is the height of these ceilings. And so this will be a fantastic place for our two veterans, hopefully, if we get approved for these ADA units. And ADA is essentially the American Disabilities Act, which gives us guidance on how to set these places up. But do you see the really wide berth in the doors? Again, this lends itself perfectly to being able to give two people their lives back that just need the right place to give them the mobility that they need. This is, am I able to just, nope, can't do that. Here we go. We'll do it this way. So yes, I know my floor is missing, and no, they didn't take a discount because my floor was missing. But this is actually the access to the upstairs that we'll actually take out. And so this big, huge unit right here, this will be all side to side, front to back. This will be what we'll be referring to as playland. This particular space is where we would put the eatery. It will be absolutely fantastic. And an awesome space. So I couldn't more look forward to it. But yeah, it'll be absolutely amazing. And then right back here, if you guys can see it all, that's actually, I have to mute some people. So this is the space, but if you look back here, that is what you think it is. Those are the jail cells. They are real. They are staying in the property, and we've got some ideas on how we're going to use them. My plan is to actually create little eat-in spaces right here. So we'll finish off the floors and make all that stuff nice and everything. We'll turn this into storage for the eatery or whatever goes in there. And potentially even extend this wall out so they have more space. But we will put some sort of table in here that you can get a chair at the end and chairs right here, and kids get the experience, the opportunity to eat in a jail cell. And so we'll see how that idea flies, and we'll see if it's something that sticks. But this is the front of the building. Again, all of these I-beams, absolutely phenomenal craftsmanship. And then now we are actually in the upstairs area. So this is the upstairs. These are all these areas. They always circle them when they do demo like this. They always circle them to make sure people recognize that there's a hole there. And then this is where all of the plumbing comes up from the first floor to the second floor. So we'll be able to put those spaces in, get all of, we're actually having the architect doing all the design work now. And as the architect does the design work, we're obviously trying to leverage the spaces that we already have. But this is how I bought it. All of this stuff was, taped off and such, but big, beautiful windows. This is, again, that stairwell from the first floor to the second floor. We'll actually be knocking that out. So then we have full continuation. And then just looking at other things that we can do in this space. The other things that we can do in this space is on the flat roof of what is going to be above the proposed ADA units. This is the prettiest part of my lot. It's right here because the city was doing a great job of taking care of it in that time. But what we'll be able to do, I think, actually, let me just scroll through real quick here so you guys can see it. Right here is that second floor of apartments that we're putting in. And then right here, this is a flat roof. The idea will be to actually have decking come out to here for a couple of units. So a couple of units will have nice outdoor space. Yes, this tree is going to get cut down. But we're going to actually put decking out here. So you have nice outdoor space where people can just kind of chill. And there's a set of train tracks here. And then right next to that is the river. And so they'll be able to see the river from here and really get a great, pretty awesome downtown experience. So that is our vision. That is what I am proposing we do with this awesome, scary, totally cool project. And would love to get your guys' feedback, your thoughts, but these are something that people, if you can look at what you can do and leverage an asset like this, obviously the cost price per square foot was minimal. However, we'll be spending well over $1 million, hopefully not too well over $1 million, but we'll hopefully be able to be on budget around $1 million to be able to redo that space. And it will be 4 residential, 2 bedrooms on the second floor. It'll hopefully be 2 ADA units on the first floor. And then it will actually have the other 2 commercial spaces, one being an eatery and another one being just like a kind of a kid zone thing. Like Playland is kind of the idea. But what we love about that is it gives the city a bunch of things it needs. And we get to be a part of that. The city could never develop all those things, but I, as a developer, I, as a real estate investor, can. Having the experience that I have, having done the things I have now, have I done any of these things before? Yeah, obviously the residential stuff. Yeah. Roof decking. Yeah. ADA units. I've not done them specifically for that, but I've built to that spec, which is, wider doors and different sort of sinks and different sort of showers. I've built to that spec before. And then the other spaces, the commercial spaces, I've done some work on the commercial side, not a ton, because usually the spaces that I've bought done. But that's essentially what the project looks like. And we kind of couldn't be more thrilled.